what is a romantic relationship versus what is a dating relationship. And I kind of see the two as different. Welcome to Mother-Daughter Connections, the show dedicated to educating, encouraging, and equipping moms to build lasting, meaningful connections with their daughters. I'm your host and mother-daughter relationship personal trainer, Dr. Michelle Deering. My heart is to be of help to you. I believe that your relationship with your mom is the foundation for your future success, personally, parentally, and professionally. Now remember, even though I'm a licensed psychologist, I'm not your shrink on this show. I am, however, here to share my opinions and those of my guests. If you have concerns about your mental health, please seek services from a mental health provider in your local area. Now join me as we pause to consider today's topic. Has your daughter stopped talking to you the way she used to? Well, that could be for any number of reasons. Maybe something was said or not said, or maybe something was done or not done, or maybe you both just got your wires crossed. Whatever the reason, there are definite research-based principles that you can use to get your daughter talking to you again. And I've put those principles in my Get Your Daughter Talking Now online course. It's a self-paced, 3-module step-by-step program that you can use to fix the lines of communication between you and your daughter, regardless of her age. Just go to www.getyourdaughtertalkingnow.com to start rebuilding your relationship today. And if you've already purchased the program, awesome. Just make sure that you share the link with your mom friends so that they can get in on the healing. The link again is www.getyourdaughtertalkingnow.com. Now let's hop into today's episode. Well, hi there and welcome. I am always excited to have you join me here on this podcast. And, it's summertime and, I don't know if you've had a chance to go out and hang out at the beach or hang out at a lake or just really have some quality family time. But as we've been planning in my family to do those kinds of things this summer, I've actually started wondering about clients I've had and clients that I'm serving. And one of the things that has come up and continues to come up, it's not like it hasn't come up before, but one of the things that comes up has to do with dating. And as it relates to dating, moms ask me all the time, it's like, how can I know that my daughter is ready to date? Or should I be saying yes? And it seems like over the 25 plus years that I've been working with moms and daughters, that the age at which this question occurs is happening younger and younger and younger. And I just had to pause for a second this summer because I've been thinking about how that age gets younger and younger, but then I start to wonder about the ways in which we as moms sometimes might start dropping seeds about the dating younger and younger. For instance, you've seen it on TV or maybe even in your own family when you have a young girl, a young boy around age 4 or 5 and everyone thinks it's cute. It's like, who's your little girlfriend? Who's your little boyfriend? To the different nieces and nephews and little kids. And you have to kind of wonder, okay, if you're dropping the hint then that early, wouldn't it be one of the things that might be contributing to this question coming up earlier and earlier? So I want to kind of just talk about that today, specifically 4 questions that I think would be helpful for you as a mom to actually ask yourself when it comes to trying to figure out whether or not to say yes or no to your daughter starting to date. Okay, this is assuming that she is under the age of 18, still under your roof in some way, shape, or form. So that's the assumption. And specifically, if you have young daughters who are in the tween, teen age range, this is for you, okay? So those 4 questions, the first question that I think is really going to be important for you to ask yourself as a mom is, what message are you really wanting to get across to your daughter about dating? Because we convey messages all the time, whether they're indirect or direct, whether they're overt or covert. We're sending messages, we're communicating in the things, not only the things that we say, but also the things that we don't say. So when it comes to messaging, No, this is not a marketing message, but when it comes to messaging, you really as a mom want to pause to consider the body of the content that you've been conveying and think about what specifically you want to get across to your daughter about dating. In particular, you want to really think about what is a romantic relationship versus what is a dating relationship. And I kind of see the two as different in that a romantic relationship is what it is or is not. That's the thing that you want to convey. What is a romantic relationship? And that dating is the process that you undergo to figure that out. So that's question number one. Question number two that you want to ask yourself as a mom is you really want to think about what intentions do you have for how you want to interact with your daughter and her love interest, and what you really want to have happen for her in that dating relationship. So think about and ask yourself the question, what are your intentions when the topic comes up as it relates to your daughter and dating? I've learned over the years that you can have good intentions that actually end up having a negative impact. I kind of liken it to something my mother used to say to me. She was like, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. Sort of in that vein, it's you can have the intentions, but how are you coming across in actuality might have a negative impact. So good intentions can have the actual acting it out or implementing it can have negative impacts. So you want to just kind of think about, how am I coming across when this topic comes up? Am I freaking out? Am I getting really upset? Am I seeming nervous and not very confident? What are your intentions in your interactions with your daughter around the topic of dating? The third question you want to ask yourself is, what strategies do you want to convey to her to start implementing around the topic of respect and boundaries? Now, I've written blogs and had past episodes about how we as moms really need to instill in our daughters a sense of respect. And that comes in the form of, do you respect her boundaries? Does she respect yours? Does she even know what boundaries are? Okay. There's strategies around how you go about implementing and teaching your daughter about those things. And so you want to give some thought to asking yourself as a mom, what strategies do I want my daughter to have? Does she know that her no means no? When she says no, do you respect her no? When you say no, does she respect your no? These are the things you want to start looking at and asking yourself about. And then lastly, the fourth question you want to ask yourself as it relates to you entering into discussion with your daughter about dating is you want to ask yourself, what season of life are you in? Meaning you yourself as her mom. Think about what's going on in your life. Do you have a lot of stressors going on? How are things going socially with you? Are there financial stressors? What's going on at work? You need to have a handle on what's going on with you, because that's going to impact something I said earlier, which has to do with, you might have great intentions, but the actual carrying them out might come across negatively. If you're not aware of what season of life you're in, what's going on, it could be easy to overstep boundaries, breach boundaries, blow up, things of that nature, which won't help your actual goal of having healthy communication and interactions with your daughter around the topic of dating. So again, as a review, the 4 questions that you as a mom need to ask yourself as it relates to interacting with your daughter around dating, so that you can know whether or not to say yes or no to the "Mom, can I date?" question is, 1, you need to think about and ask yourself, what message are you wanting to convey to your daughter about dating? 2, what intentions do you have towards your daughter in terms of how you want her to interact with her love interest and what you really want to have happen for her in her dating experiences? 3, you want to ask yourself, what strategies do you want to convey to her around the topics of respect and boundaries. And 4, you want to make sure that you ask yourself, what season of life you yourself personally as a mom, what season of life are you in? Now, if you need any assistance with that and trying to figure it out, because everyone's situation is different, reach out to me by scheduling a no-guilt consult call with me. To do that, just go to the URL bit.ly/no guilt consult. That's bit.ly/no guilt consult. And I would just love it also if you could, on the podcast platform that you're listening to this podcast on, go to the 5 stars, click the 5 stars, and leave a 5-star review and a quick comment about what you got out of this episode today or any episode that you've been listening to. I'd greatly appreciate it. It's a free resource. I'd like to get it out to more and more moms. And when you leave a review, it actually helps the algorithms get the word out. I get emails from moms who say, yeah, it popped up on my feed. Exactly. So definitely it would be of help to another mom. Spread the love. I'm so glad that you're here and that we got to spend time together. Remember, healthy mother-daughter relationships are possible. They just take one curative connection at a time. I'll see you next week. You've been listening to Mother-Daughter Connections with me, your host and mother-daughter relationship personal trainer, Dr. Michelle Deering. Thanks so much for joining me today. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss an episode. Share this episode with a friend so they don't miss an episode. And download the resource in the show notes. Until next time, remember to pause to consider how you can connect intentionally so you can improve relationally with your daughter.